You clicked on this video because you want to know my opinions on F1 2019. So, within the first 10 seconds of the video, let's get this over with. Since I play on controller, did I like the game? Did I refund F1 2019 Legends Edition on Steam? Well, yes. Yes, I did refund the game on Steam. Did I refund the Legends Edition so that I could buy the Standard Edition, which costs less? Well, yeah, obviously. In case you missed the video that I uploaded earlier this week, where I gave my recommendations for racing games to buy during the Steam Summer Sale 2020, I basically said that I'd be purchasing the F1 2019 Legends Edition. I also mentioned that I would be playing on a controller, and that I would probably recommend a full racing setup, because if I had the finances and could invest in a full racing sim setup to play this game, I probably would, because a full racing setup would most likely give you the best possible experience. Oh, if you've made it this far into the video, it would be awesome if you could like and subscribe. It really does help me because it helps the YouTube algorithm recommend my videos to other people. So, thanks in advance. Honestly, I wasn't sure how I felt about playing a sim game on controller. A couple of days ago, which was about 2 days after buying the game, I installed F1 2019 and I got my first taste of an F1 game. That's correct. F1 2019 is my first Formula 1 game. In this video, I want to share my experience and give my honest opinion about a game trying to portray the best sporting event to ever exist. Well, I kind of am gonna delete or erase that last phrase because, well, the best sporting event is soccer. Or, depending on where you're from, football. Well, I guess it's time to get back to the video. Enough with that little rant. I'm gonna say it like it is. The way that F1 2019 starts off is quite awful. You pick your character, and then you're forced into the driver's seat of an F2 car. There pretty much is no tutorial. You're pushed right into Formula 2. Hang on a sec, let's pause for a sec. During the first F2 race, which I'm assuming is supposed to be the tutorial, I'm still confused on that part, I basically felt that I was one step behind. I don't understand why one thing was happening and what I had to do next. I had to figure it out on my own. Like, why would I have to figure out on my own how to change braking pressure and how to tell the team that I wanted to pit? Shouldn't the tutorial of the game showed me how to do that? Like, come on. What even was that tutorial? This game and its multiple confusing menus were pretty much trial and error for the most part. I had to spend time and figure out what each button did, and that kind of frustrated me, especially as a player new to the F1 franchise. I really didn't like that. From the time that I've played so far, I do have to say that the story in F1 2019 is done terribly. After each race, I'm questioned by a reporter.
That was an exciting race. It definitely got people talking about you, which means I was able to secure a quick interview. Okay, we're all set over here.
That seems at first that it would be okay and all, and that I shouldn't have a problem with it. However, the reporter, at this point I forget what her name is, asks 2 questions, which at first you would think is kind of dumb, right? Especially if you're in an interview with a racing driver.
Let's get your perspective.
Who wouldn't want to maximize their time with some sort of racing driver, or have that exclusive over other reporters? Not only do I think that there should be more questions, the questions that I'm asked should be better. Here's what I wish I was asked. Here we go. Do you wish the team's strategy was different? Or, how would you have raced differently? Like, those are questions that, I believe at least, an audience would want to know. For real though, as a player, I kind of wanted to answer more questions. Also, it would be nice if I had more time to answer these questions. I find it hard to read the choices that I can pick and respond to them in a timely manner, just because by the time I read 2 questions, my time is up. And I think for the most part that I'm a pretty fast reader, so I can't imagine how people who have a harder time reading are able to do this game. Another thing that I don't like about the story is the competition with my rival. Once my, spoiler alert, rival wins the F2 championship and then says he's going to move on to F1, he informs my character that if I were to transfer to F1 during the same season, that I would be placed on a lesser team, and because of that, always be in P18.
At the end of this championship, I'll be the one lifting the trophy, and I won't use my teammates to nick the podium.
Okay, I'm out. You believe what you want, Devon, but it's still early days.
It's been my privilege over the years to witness a number of great sporting events, and here's another to add to that prestigious list. It's the ultimate dream for any racing driver. We have a new Formula 2 World Champion.
He then goes on to say that I should wait another year, and then I'd probably have a chance at some of the better teams. Literally 5 months after this altercation, I have access to and I'm able to join any F1 team that I want. Like, really.
Welcome. Come on in. I am concerned with our choices. They're narrowing as we haven't shown commitment to anyone. So take your time, have a read through, and don't get too hung up on specifics. Let's get you a Formula 1 seat.
I have access to every team. Why would my rival even say that if I'm able to choose whatever team I want to be a part of? If the dialogue is there, I should be limited to certain teams, like forced to race for either Haas or Williams until I'm able to build some sort of racing cred. I know that I've mentioned this before, but let's talk about the F1 race control / pre-menu. I talked about this when I was complaining about the tutorial in case you've forgotten. There's hardly an introduction to these menus. I spent about 5 minutes figuring out how to start a practice session once I was in Formula 1. I mean, come on. How hard is it to walk a player through how to start a practice session? Like, really? Come on. I also wish that my team would talk to me more when I'm on the track. Like, I wish they'd keep me updated on the people who are behind me. I understand they tell me how close away I am from the person in front, but come on, if I'm playing on a challenging difficulty or difficulty that's challenging to me, I'd want to know who's chasing me down. What I've mentioned above doesn't take away from the best part of the game, which happens to be the physics and just the overall feel. The game feels polished. At first, however, during the F2 stage of the game, I kept spinning and going off track. I wasn't used to how the game plays, and I thought that since I was on controller, I would be better off just refunding the game and buying something else. But that all changed after my time in F2 ended. When I moved on to F1, I finally understood the controls and how the car drives. Now I can say with confidence that playing on the controller feels fantastic. I think that the difficulty levels of the game are also quite brilliant. I mean, when you change the difficulty, it actually does something. The AI drivers are really difficult for me, and I'm playing on medium, which I believe is about 60% difficulty. I want to compare this with my difficulty level experiences in Forza Horizon 4. In case you aren't familiar with my channel, I play a lot of Forza Horizon 4. Anyways, in Forza Horizon 4, I play on the difficulty level Unbeatable, which is the most challenging difficulty in the game, and more times than not, I find myself winning the race before 50% of the race is over. On the contrary, in F1 2019, I can pick a wide variety of difficulty which is based on percentages, and from there, I'm able to have an immense amount of fun because I can feel competitive on the difficulty that I can choose. I don't get destroyed by super fast drivers, nor do I end up first every time because the AI decides to start braking a quarter way down the tracks straight away. Being able to change the difficulty in little increments is awesome for the player. I absolutely love this about the game. I wish every other racing game would take after F1 2019's difficulty settings because they're brilliant. Alright, so did I really enjoy F1 2019 Legends Edition? Well, no, I didn't. I didn't see that there was any reason to pay for the Legends Edition, and that's why I refunded it. I got the Standard Edition, and it's just as good, and it's just as fun. So I recommend F1 2019, just not the Legends Edition. Alright, if we put the story aside and the things that I really don't like to the side, then the game is honestly really good. I mean, you spend more time driving than you spend experiencing the story. So because I spend more time experiencing the good things, the bad things really don't matter to me. Well, those are my honest opinions about F1 2019. I really hope that you've enjoyed this video, and if you've made it this far into the video, please like and subscribe for the YouTube algorithm. It means so much and takes so little of your time. Thanks again, have a nice day.